I'm going to go ahead and record this. I'd like to thank everybody for getting on our call tonight. Last week we did an Instagram training part 1, and tonight we are doing Instagram training part 2. So we have Michelle Katz on this call tonight. She is one of our awesome diamonds on Team Boom Empire. And we're lucky to have her on this call tonight to share with us her experience with Instagram and some of the awesome tips that she has for us. And then we will have time for some questions, and I'll turn it over to Michelle. So go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me on to talk about this. I feel like I've learned a lot about Instagram over the last few months since, I didn't even have an Instagram account about 7 months ago, when I started all of this. But I really kind of threw myself in quickly. And with Instagram, because I was able to sort of create the separate account right away, it felt a little more anonymous when I had some concerns about, coming out on Facebook right away. So I feel like I've used Instagram a little bit more to work the Beachbody coaching business than I have Facebook, as a lot of other coaches do. And so I've, been going out and finding a lot of free resources and doing free trainings. And Shailene Johnson, who, has the Instagram Impact Academy, that's supposed to be fantastic. I haven't actually done that. But I have done a lot of like sneak peek webinars that she's done, that that talks about some of the tips that she shares in the Instagram Impact Academy. So I've gotten bits and pieces of it. I want to start out by saying, like, Instagram is where it's at. Really, business on social media, they're really saying, like, I'm going to people. There are over, I think this summer, like around July was where I could find, there are over 500 million monthly users on Instagram, which is, enormous. And now, this is something I'll talk about in a little bit, but you actually have the ability to do ads on Instagram as well, which is a new feature that they have. And they're predicting that Instagram ads are even going to pass Twitter and Google ads in the coming year. So, it's really, it's a really fantastic platform. But you also have to know how to use it, I think. And there are a lot of things that are changing about it regularly. So, that's why, again, like Shailene Johnson, she talks a lot about how this academy, it's just so that you don't have to go out and be doing all this research on your own and constantly be, trying to figure out the updates. Like, you should be running your business. You should be focusing on that. You shouldn't have to spend a ton of extra time, just catching up on all of this. Okay, so everyone mute themselves. Okay, so Marie, you were asking, where can you find the Academy? I think you could just Google it, Instagram Impact Academy or Shailene Johnson, and it comes up. And I know that she has a lot of promotions, for people who want to go through the training, the Academy, like $99, is what she was offering for people who were on the last webinar that I did. Which is, really, really good. And I think that Carrie, actually, on our team, has gone through it, I believe. So she would be another resource for that. So, some of the stuff that I want to touch on relates a little bit to, Instagram session 1 that Marie did. And I wanted to just add a few things to that. And then there are some other pieces about, other features and, suggestions specifically around running a business and finding your ideal customer, and, some other recent changes to Instagram. So hashtags, we can start with hashtags a little bit. Hashtags, of course, are, and that's one of the amazing things about Instagram, right? You can sort of categorize yourself in that way, and you can connect with people who have similar interests as you, or, are interested in what you have to offer through hashtags. So Marie talked a lot about hashtags last time, and about how, you want to be putting out hashtags that that describe you and, you know, what your interests are, you know, the kind of person who you are. And that's absolutely true. I think the only thing that what I would add to that is that you want to be, you know, the hashtags you want to be putting out are hashtags that are things that your ideal challenger or your ideal coach might be using, right? So if you can, you know, sit down and maybe think about like, who is that person, right? I mean, absolutely, they're going to have a lot of things in common with you. So a lot of those things will overlap, but I mean, some things might be a little bit different. So like for instance, you know, one thing about all of us, right? We're all Beachbody coaches, but that doesn't mean that we should be doing hashtag Beachbody coach. In fact, we should not be putting hashtag Beachbody coach because that's not really, there are a lot of Beachbody coaches out there and that's not really something that differentiates us. And it could actually hurt us because people can be clicking that hashtag and then it can take you, you know, to hundreds and hundreds, thousands of other Beachbody coaches that are on Instagram. And then they could get lost and they could, you know, go off to one of them or things like that. So, you know, those kinds of common hashtags that relate to what we're doing. So like hashtag Shakeology, hashtag Beachbody, you know, coaching, that kind of stuff are things that we actually want to avoid. The other reason for that is not only because it can lead them to, I guess, our competitors, right? But it's not a hashtag that people who don't already know about this product are going to be looking for, right? So like we want to be reaching new people. We don't necessarily want to be reaching people who already know everything about Shakeology or you know, people who are already drinking Shakeology or already, right? So, I mean, we want to be connecting with people who don't know anything about these programs and who really, you know, who really need them in their lives. So, you know, things, I mean, like if you're a mom, you know, things like, you know, new mom or like lose the baby weight or, you know, different hashtags like that you can think of that, you know, that really relate to that kind of person who you're trying to attract. The other thing about that, Marie talked a lot about the profile last time, so I'm not going to go over that. However, I think you all know that when you create an Instagram account, you can choose your own name. And so you can also sort of choose a name that categorizes yourself. So it doesn't, you know, have to be your actual name, right? Like most of us on Facebook, or I mean, I think pretty much all of us on Facebook, at least with our personal page, it's our name or it's a name. But for instance, you know, we can categorize ourselves on Instagram related to, you know, what are the area that we are sharing with others, right? So like fitness and health and happiness and confidence and these kinds of things. So for instance, I'm Fit Strong Mama on Instagram. And, you know, I mean, that was great to me. Like that also made me feel more comfortable because I felt more comfortable sharing things about my fitness journey because it was very clear that was a fitness account already, right? Like that was already straightforward from my name. You can have multiple Instagram accounts. So, you can also have a private, you know, you can have your personal Instagram account with your own name where you might be sharing more things, you know, about your family, about your kids, etc. So that's, you know, that's important. It's a little bit different than Facebook where, you know, you start coaching and then everything just goes together, right? Because I mean, yes, some people start like pages and things, but otherwise that would all be kind of put together. So, I mean, on Instagram, it's very easy. You can have different, and it's actually very important to sort of separate those things. And they, you know, talk about feature accounts. So you can have multiple feature accounts. You just need to have a different email connected to each one of them. So it is very important that you have one, you know, specifically around Beachbody coaching. So it doesn't mean that you can't, you know, put up pictures of your cats or of your dogs or of your kids or, you know, whatever those other interests in your life may be. In fact, you know, to some degree, those things are important to be sort of sprinkling in these different pieces that make you you. But you do want to be careful not to overdo it because on Instagram, the people who begin following you are going to be following you for a very specific reason and because you're adding value, you know, around whatever it is that they came to your page for. So you're going to want to stay consistent to that overall. And one thing that Shailene Johnson suggests is coming up with like 2 to 3 things that you always post about, and make sure that all of your posts go back to that. So like, you know, that could be like fitness, healthy meals, you know, being a mom, or overcoming, you know, depression and anxiety, you know, through your fitness journey. I mean, it could be, yeah, you know, whatever your, you know, whatever relates to your specific story, but then keep it consistent. And of course, make sure that you're actually adding value in all of your posts. So, you know, she also says like you can go back through. I mean, you should always be asking yourself that for any post that you make, but it's also not a bad idea to like look back through your past 20 posts and think about, you know, what value did I actually bring to my follower who read that post? You know, and it's okay also to, you know, she put it, clean house sometimes. So, you know, sometimes we make a really bad post, or, you know, we realize later that it's a bad post, or, you know, whatever it may be. And so, or it's not our best post. So we can always go back and delete that if we need to. And that's important because, I mean, you know, people will go back and see that, and you know, want to make sure that you're being consistent and that you're consistently adding value about these things. So another way that you can, you know, find people to connect with who are really going to be your lifers and who you have a lot in common with, is through, there's something that's called the Explore button, and it basically looks like a magnifying glass, and it's on the bottom of your Instagram. I can pull it up quickly if people want to see, like, I don't know if you can even see it, but like, here's my page, and here's the little magnifying glass at the bottom. So, when you go there, it's basically going to pull up a whole bunch of pages similar to recent pages that you've been looking at. So what she says to do, if you really want to find your lifers, you know, are put down, like find someone who's like your ideal person, who you totally connect with, who you think, you know, would totally, you connect with them, they would connect with you. They could be your lifer. They could be a fantastic coach. You really would, you know, you would love to have them on their team. And then, you know, go to their page and then find somebody else who they are connected with, who, you know, is also similar, and then go to their page. And then if you go back to the Explore button and you push on it, then it's going to basically populate it with a whole bunch of other people similar to those people. So for instance, if you go into Instagram right now and you decide, you know, I decide like, I want to get a tattoo tomorrow. And so I just start like doing hashtag tattoo, I don't know, like whatever, start like looking through a whole bunch of pages, like with tattoos, whatever. And then I go back there and I click on the Explore button, it's going to like populate with, you know, all the stuff about tattoos. So if you are finding someone who has a lot of similarities to you, using similar hashtags, it's sort of your ideal person. And that's, you're looking at a few people like that, and then you go back to that page, it's going to populate it with more people like that. So you're going to like get this whole page with a lot of people who you would want to be connecting with, basically. So then,
Michelle, can I ask a question quick?
Of course.
Okay, so if I go in the little magnifying glass and I put in soccer mom, now what do I do?
So you don't even need to do that. So,
okay.
Okay, wait a second. Am I doing this right? Yeah, so basically if you go, I don't know why it's coming up with these specific videos, but if you go, look who pops up. If I go to my news feed and I'm on home, right? Like I don't have anything else there.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm so ADHD. Okay. So home.
Okay. So I'm home. I'm in my news feed, right? Mm-hmm. Looking at Marie and her awesome bicep. And then I just click there. I don't have to enter anything because I'm not actually searching.
Okay.
It's just going to come up. This is the Explore page. So it just automatically comes up. It says videos you might like.
Oh.
So it's going to automatically come up with things that are similar to things that I've been looking at, if that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah. Is it working for you?
Yeah. And every time that comes up, I'm like, what is this? And I just get rid of it.
Well,
and
yeah.
Like, well, I could be like using
like with Instagrass also. There have been some pretty sketchy things, I think, that I like and follow. So, I mean, for instance, like, yes, this stuff all looks like fitness stuff, but there's also like a bunch of girls and like thongs doing things. And
nice.
I mean, those are the pictures I was looking at recently, but you know what I mean? Like, so it's connected to the hashtags of probably about fitness and different, different pages that Instagrass has been taking my account to and has been liking and commenting on. So I think it's, basically connected to that. But that's why it also says, because in this case, it wouldn't totally work for me because like, that's not, if a lot of this is coming off of Instagrass. However, if I think about a couple of the people who follow me right now, there are some people on there who I think would be like amazing coaches, right? Like they're really consistent. They're posting about their journey. They already have, an Instagram fitness page. They're really supportive of me. It seems like we have a lot in common, et cetera, et cetera. So if I go to their page and then I, off of their page, I find someone else who they're following or who's following them, who also has a lot in common with them. And so if I just look at like those 2 or 3 people who are basically, like my ideal coach, and then I click the magnifying glass, then people like that will come up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, what did I want to talk about next? Yeah, so just really quickly, I mean, the unfollowing thing, she's talked a little about why do people unfollow. So, one reason why people might be unfollowing is if you're not providing the content that they started following you for, right? So like if they start following you, specifically around like counting macros or, whatever it is, and then you're just all of a sudden, again, you can like sprinkle in things about life, but if all of a sudden like your last 10 pictures are just, about your dog being sick or something, they might be like, okay, enough already. Like I love dogs too, but that's not why I'm following this person. So Fit Strong Mama is not supposed, it doesn't say Fit Strong Dog Mama. Like it's, it's like, it's whatever. They're following you for a particular reason because they want to get something out of it. So that might be one reason. Also, if people have like scattered content, they said that that's another reason why people might be unfollowing. If it starts to be very spammy, if like your posts start to be a little bit too salesy or like, a little bit too much like ads, that's another reason why people say that they unfollow. And also, I mean, I don't think that we necessarily have this problem, especially now because the algorithm has changed with Instagram. But I think before, where you would literally just see like a full news feed of everyone who had posted recently. If you were posting too much, like you would just like fill up people's news feeds, and that's not really happening anymore. But people could, get really annoyed about that before. So the other thing about Instagram is that they say you don't really need to invite in the sense of, or you don't need to privately invite. So, I mean, I have been privately inviting a lot, and I know Marie has been privately inviting a lot, and I'm not necessarily going to completely stop that. However, as we probably all know, if we're on Instagram, we do get a lot of spam on Instagram. And so, at least what Shailene says in her training is that basically like a lot of the DMs at this point are just seen as like complete spam. Like people don't even want to see it. They don't want to get it. They know if you're writing to them that you're trying to sell them something, and they're just going to like kind of shut it off. So it's better to start, engaging that person, more regularly, right? So like actually building a relationship, but building a relationship through like likes and comments and, or when they comment on your thing, making sure that you're responding. So like building a relationship in that way. So, I mean, I've definitely I've built some relationships where I feel like, people are like liking all of my posts and they're totally cheering it on. I think it's so great. So I feel like I can, I should go ahead and reach out. But anyway, I mean, I'm sure that people have different opinions on that, but that's just the most recent training that I heard, from Shailene. That's what she was recommending, is to not actually direct message people in that way. But one thing that she did recommend that I thought was really interesting is that now you can choose who you want to get notifications from every time they post. So like if I go to Melanie Mitro. So I don't know if you guys know how to do this, but if I go to Melanie Mitro, right, top coach of Beachbody, there's these 3 dots up here. And if I click on the 3 dots, then this comes up. And down here, where is it? Oh, well, I already have it on, but it says turn off post notifications. But if I have them off, it will say turn on post notifications. So basically what this means is that every time that Melanie Mitro posts, I get a notification on my phone saying Melanie Mitro just, put up a new post or put up a new video. So, I'm obviously not trying to get Melanie to buy anything from me or to join my team. That would be nice. But, I'm interested in the content that she's putting out. So that's why I have her on there. But what you want to do is like other people who you're connecting with and who seem like they could be really good people to join your challenge group or join your team. If you turn on post notifications, then you have a way to potentially engage with them when they're online, right? So like if I'm sitting here doing something totally different and I get a notification on my phone that Fitness Mama 78, who's Marie, just posted something, then I'm like, oh, Marie's on Instagram. Now I can like go get on Instagram and talk to Marie. So then I can go there and I can like her picture. I can be like, awesome bicep, whatever I want to say. Right. And then she'll be like, hey, thanks at Fit Strong Mama or something, and we can like, you can have a conversation. Not only can you have a conversation, but you're standing out to them more, because some of these people might be having, even if it's only like 20 or 30 likes, like you still can get lost in the shuffle, but some people are getting 100 likes, 200 likes. So they're not even necessarily noticing you. But like if you are one of the first people, every time they post, you get a notification. So you're liking their picture, you're commenting on it right away. They're going to notice that. You're going to stand out and they're going to know who you are. If they're not already following you, they're probably likely going to start following you, or at least going to go to your page and like check it out. And that's just a way to connect with them and start to, engage them and like build a relationship without just like straight off being like spammy or writing to them about, joining a challenge or something. Are there questions about that?
No, I think that's really good though, because like sometimes even for myself, like I get so overwhelmed within, like I'm looking at my Instagram right now and I was like, man, how, like I posted this video, there was 172 people that watched it. So all those people that watched it, I could be reaching out to them and then commenting on their stuff. And I have noticed since I've really dived into my Instagram, I've always been on Instagram, and it's the weirdest thing because my best coaches, have all come from Instagram. And no offense to my newer coaches, a lot of them are from Facebook, but my top coaches that have the most coaches and the best ones, Heather, Jamie and I went to high school, but we reconnected on Instagram. Carrie Steelman, Michelle, you guys are all from Instagram. So I recruit a lot of discount coaches from Facebook, but I want to start recruiting business builders in 10s and not 2s, and you're going to find those on Instagram.
The other thing about Instagram is, or people are going to find you, right? But it's because they're already looking
for somebody. Like you found me. Like you found me, right?
Yeah, I found you.
Yeah.
I found you. So yeah, that's what like seems so different. Like it's just different. It's just different than Facebook in that way, where you're a little more of like a whole person on Facebook versus like Instagram. You can have your featured account. You can really be like focusing on running your business and, only doing fitness, nutrition, whatever all the time. And people can easily find you that way who are looking for that, right? So you just have like a much, much, much broader reach that way. And plus you already know that like most of the people who are following you, it doesn't necessarily mean that like they want to join a challenge group, but they're interested in this. You may have connected with other people on Facebook who aren't necessarily interested, or maybe they are in some way, but it's just, it's a little bit different. I feel like you reach different people that way. But okay, so a couple of last things I wanted to talk about. I mean, one of these is actually super, super important, I think. And that is that you can now create a business account on Instagram. So I actually do not have one because in order to have a business account, you have to have a page, like a like page on Facebook. And I don't have one yet, although I want to create one. I mean, I guess for multiple reasons, but one of the big ones is so that I can have a business account on Instagram. So the business account helps in multiple ways. So one of the ways is that you have a contact button on your page. And it looks, so let's see, let me see if I can give you an example. Well, Melanie Mitra doesn't even have that yet.
Can you merge your business account and your personal account?
Yeah. You mean on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all you have to do, I mean, Marie, you can do it because you do have a like page. You go to edit profile. And then you go to try Instagram business tools. Oops, I can't see what I'm doing, but it's on there. Try Instagram business tools. Is that right? Yeah. Try Instagram.
What did you go to before that?
My profile.
Okay.
And then, you can continue. I've tried to do it multiple times. It doesn't work for me, but connect on Facebook and then you can continue. I can't actually continue as Michelle Katz because it doesn't end up working. Like you have to have your own page.
I see Facebook friends, follow people, find contacts.
No. So, okay. You go to your edit profile, right?
Oh.
Go to edit profile first.
Oh, sorry. I'm like my grandma with the VCR. I'm like, what am I now?
So that's okay. Do you see it? If you go into edit profile, try Instagram business tools. And you go continue as whoever you are, and then pick the admin. So I actually am an admin on multiple other pages that are completely unrelated to Beachbody. So they're like other things that I do. So that's not going to work for me in terms of this account. I don't want my Beachbody.
So my name must have to be the same on my Instagram, like my real name, MS.
No, not at all. No, not at all. It just will connect so that if people want to go from your Instagram page to your Facebook business page, they can go there. So they can go over there and like connect with, start following you on Facebook as well.
Oh, you know why it won't let me? Because my other Facebook account, it's picking up. I like to see when people like unfriend me and I go ghost mode and I'm like, I knew you blocked me.
Wait, but I have no idea.
Oh, because I have another Facebook. But go ahead. Too much information.
Okay. Wow. The secret life of Marie.
Well, there's like no one on it. It's just like an account. You know what I mean? Don't act like you don't have one, Mindy. Okay, go ahead.
Let me show you guys. So this is totally unrelated. This is about cello, classical music playing, but this is another, thing that I'm working on. And this page that I'm with does have a business account. So I just want to show it to you guys. So like basically if you go here, then you have, you have contact, which is different. You don't have that otherwise. So you can actually have, you have your email address there. You can have a phone number there, and you can put an address there if you want to put a business address. I mean, most of us are home, so we probably do not want to be putting our address out there. But you do have that, you have that option. You can, I've seen a lot of Beachbody coaches that do actually put their phone numbers straight up on here for people who want to call. But the coolest thing about it is not only that, but it's this, and you guys are going to love this. So, okay, so look here. So this is a business account, right? So you see this little circle. title on the top that we all have on our page. Then you see like this barcode thingy. So you only have this if you have Business Insights, which is very, very cool. So the insights, the kinds of things that the insights show you are the times that your followers are online. Like, I mean, it tells you like over the last week or over the last month, you can go through, you know, what exact times are your followers online, like the majority of your followers. It tells you, it tells you the times, it tells you the days that you have the followers online, it tells you the gender breakdown of your followers, it tells the location of your followers, so like you can see what cities in the US people are following you from, you can see what countries people are following you from, the whole breakdown there. You can see, what else can you see? You can see how many people have viewed your profile in the last week. You can see how many people, how many accounts have seen any of your posts, like in the news feed. And you can also see what your top posts were, which is also interesting. I mean, you can do that anyway if you like go through every single post and count everything, I think. I mean, I don't know if it's in terms of likes or in terms of views, but I mean, they put it all out there for you in these insights. So I thought like that's pretty cool. I mean, that actually can help you quite a bit. If you really, you know, are serious about like running a business off of this, right? So the business account is pretty cool. Some things you think about, especially if you already have a like page, like it seems like it's a no-brainer just to connect it over to your Facebook page. But Marie, quickly, the thing that you were saying where you saw
I was going to tell you guys if we
Facebook contacts, so that is something else.
I was going to tell you guys, if you get kicked off this link or whatever, just click back on it. If we do get kicked off in like 4 minutes, just click on it again and you'll get right back on.
Okay. I don't want to go on and on for too long though. Okay. Well, the Facebook thing, I mean, you guys probably already know, but you can find Facebook friends. So that's another way to connect with people. So like I have, for instance, some Facebook friends like from a mom's group who, you know, I don't post on, I'm like starting to do more, but I don't post on Facebook about this stuff as much as I do on Instagram. So I'm trying, like, I've been trying to get some of those people specifically to start following me on Instagram because like, this is, you know, clearly more of my fitness account. So I can like start following them, for instance. So then they see, you know, I pop up that I started following them and who, you know, they'll see my name as well as Fit Strong Mama. And then they can follow me back if they want to. And then the last thing I think that I wanted to talk about is the Instagram ads, which they say, you know, are a big thing that's happening now. The Instagram ads, so Facebook bought Instagram, so you actually do the ads. You can manage your ads like through one place through your Facebook account. And the cool thing that I found out is that you can run, if you set up the ad for your Facebook account, you can click if you wanted to run on Facebook or on Instagram or on both automatically. And then you can just have an ad that runs across both of them, which is pretty cool. You can do video ads. You can do video ads up to 30 seconds. You can do just a picture, or you can do carousel ads where you can put up to 4 pictures, like that it flips through 4 different pictures. And then, you know, there's all these other things like that you can select, and like who your audience is and their location and their age range and their interests, and, you know, all these different things. So, I mean, that's also an amazing way. I haven't done ads personally myself, but like that is an amazing way to reach people. And like for those of you who were at Summit and heard Gary Vee speak, who was like saying, you gotta be doing, you know, Facebook ads and Instagram ads. I don't think even existed then, but now there are also Instagram ads. And then the other thing about Instagram ads is that you can also put in clickable links. So you know how on Instagram, in your text, you can't actually put a link, right? So, or not one that you can click on, that's like an actual hyperlink, but in Instagram ads, you can put links that are clickable. So that is another cool thing about that.
How do you know this?
That.
Awesome.
So, okay, I'll stop there. I mean, I have other things I could talk about, but that's probably
That's awesome.
enough for tonight. But if you guys have questions
You
about
blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
for real. That's awesome. Well, I think that, we only have a minute left, but just some of the takeaways I had was like the 3 things that you always post about. Like, that's great. I always do, like, my kids, the 3 things that you post about. Like, I really think that's good to stay in the parameter of that. Go back and get rid of stuff. Get rid of your crap. I used to post last year, Shaun T's sales ad. Did not know what I was doing. Get rid of it. Clean it out. Fix yourself.
Yeah.
Your storefront. Reopen your business. Clean it out and keep going. So, so I think that's awesome. Michelle, does anybody else have a quick question? If you have a question, because we're going to get kicked off and I want to close out properly, I'm going to upload this, post it in our coach group, Boom Empire Fit Crew Coaches. Mindy, I don't think you're in there, but I can put you in there if you want to. I probably don't want more notifications, but just send me a message if you have any questions, Mindy, and I'll respond to you or Michelle will. And I appreciate you guys getting on. This was very awesome. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing with us. And I hope everybody has a great night. And hey, Heath, love your new hair. Good. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye. I want to see if that really kicks us